right, this is Baseball Recruiting 101 presented by NCSA, Next College Student Athlete. My name is Ray Napientek. I'm one of the head recruiting coaches here at NCSA. I'm a former Division III baseball player, played for 4 seasons, was a right-handed pitcher, coached for a season at the D3 level, and coached at the D1 level for 9 years. Been working here at NCSA for almost 2.5 years now. Tonight we're going to talk about the importance of your profile page, educating yourself in the recruiting process, talk about camps and showcases, key stats, communications, academics, visits, financial aid, ultimately committing. I'll save some time at the end for some questions as well. Profile page is very important, fellas. You're going to be able to send out your academic and athletic resume. That's the way I look at it. And the way I look at it, fellas, the more you have on your profile page, the better. You know, I know we're not applying for a job, but if we were, you got a resume that's just bare bones, and you got a resume that's filled out and shows that, hey, this is what I do every year, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. That's what we want. You know, we want to make sure that we're getting all that information in there. You can see the transcripts, information, key stats, references, high school travel team, personal statements. Always get that information updated, fellas. You know, you're going to put that in here early on, but you're going to get bigger, faster, stronger. GPAs, test scores, they're going to go up. Height, weight, you know, everything's going to change. Your personal statement might change. Travel teams, coaching references. Everything is going to change, you know, so we want to make sure that we're always updating that information. It's not like you're going in and doing it every day, but you want to make sure you're getting that information up there. 2 big things, the video is huge. Coaches are going to be able to evaluate you right on their laptop, right on their computers. That's huge, fellas. I mean, that's completely changing recruiting. I mean, that wasn't even, I played in the 90s, that wasn't even an option. And transcripts. We want to make sure you're getting your transcripts up there. We've got data that shows you got video and transcripts up there, chances of coaches viewing you go way, way up. About the recruiting process, fellas, I talk to way too many people that say, if you're good enough, they'll come find you. You know, that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of good baseball players and a lot of good students that are still looking for where they're going to go to college, and it takes work. And, you know, it's something that you're only going to be recruited once, you know, so, I mean, when you're talking about just a couple short years to figure out where you're going to go to college for 4 years, that's going to set you up for the 40 years after that. You got to get after the recruiting right now. So educating yourself on NCSA University, that's up on top of your profile page. There's some recruiting classes that I want to make sure you're taking, just like this one. I'll talk about a few here in a little bit. We do have NCSA drills, categories over on the right. Library, a video library that you guys can take a look at that has some samples of what our videos should look like, recordings, coaching sessions, depending on your memberships, asking NCSA questions. You know, we've got a ton of resources here, depending on your membership, that you can utilize very well. So do want to make sure you guys are educating yourself in the recruiting process as well. Camps and showcases, you're going to get bombarded with them. If you go to a camp and your name gets on an email, next thing you know, boom, you're invited to every showcase and all the coaches that were there. You want to make sure you're going to the right ones. You know, is it a fit academically? Is it a fit athletically? Are you interested in that school? You know, is it close? Is it far? You know, is it going to cost me $2,000 to get on a plane, or is it going to cost me a couple $100 to get down the road? So want to make sure you're going out to right camps and showcases. Gives you an opportunity to take a look at schools, and that's something, fellas, I can't stress enough as well. Go out and meet coaches, go to schools, see if that's a school that you want, interested in as time goes on, see if the coaches are interested in you, see if you gel with the coaches. You know, you might go to a place and say, man, I can't play for that guy, or man, you know, I really like this place. I never thought I would. So you want to make sure you're getting out to the right ones as well. Key stats, we want to get good information up there, fellas. You can get through scouts, camp evaluation sheets, nationally recognized showcases, high school travel, private coaches. Do recommend staying away from parents and families. We want to make sure it's a third-party person. If you do use a coach or scout or somebody, just make sure that they're in there with their on the coaching references, with their phone number and or email address. I know sometimes, you know, coaches may not want it out there, so email at the least. And then if you go to a camp, verify what day it was, let the coach know what camp it is in the box, and then you can verify it that way. Preparing for academics. For as much as I'd love to be in the stands when you guys play your first Major League Baseball game, and I know it would be because you saved me some tickets at Will Call, chances are you're going to make more money with your degree than you ever are going to be playing the game of baseball, fellas. Those are just the odds. I got one guy left. I've been out of coaching for a while now, and I got one guy left at AAA, and he's barely making enough money to get by. He's working a job during the summer. So you want to make sure that you're getting that degree like he did. It's about walking across the stage with that diploma, and you want to make sure that your best GPA, you're getting the best ACT, SAT scores that you can. As somebody that's gone through it, in retrospect, if I go back to high school, I was a good student. I played at a good college. But hey, maybe if my GPA was higher, maybe if I took the ACT again. So those lines, maybe I have more scholarship money. There's no rides basketball. It's not saying you can't get to 100%, but most of the money at the D1, D2, and then only money at the D3 level academically. NAIA, academic stack on top of athletics. So what I'm saying, fellas, get after your academics. I know you hear that from everybody you talk to. I've lived it. I've seen players that didn't fall under what I could get in, players at where I was at, and there's nothing I could do. From an NCAA standpoint, you want to make sure you're doing the best that you can. If you do play at CAA, you will have to register at eligibilitycenter.org, and then if you play at the NAIA level, you will register at playnaia.org. One thing I want to talk about as well, the ACT, SAT, don't go in and take it cold. Go take a class. If you've got the Princeton Review here, get that done with your membership. You could do in order to prepare for your ACT or SAT, do it. I've seen way too many baseball players tell me, I just took it cold, and they didn't score very well. And now you're sitting with a 4.0 and an 18 as opposed to a 4.0 and a 26 because you're prepared for it. And I'm just throwing numbers out. So you want to make sure that you're getting out there and you're doing everything that you can. Coach communication, fellas, this is huge. Way too many student athletes just think you're going to sit back and kind of wait for it to happen. You've got so many resources and so many fingertips here at NCSA. I wish I had this when I was in high school. I had myself to kind of fall back on. You've got to reach out to coaches, follow up with them, fill out recruiting questionnaires, phone calls, text messages, emails as time goes on. Pick up the phone, introduce yourself. You almost become your own marketing agent. So you want to make sure that you're getting out there, getting your profile page out to the coaches, building up your target list, keeping that process rolling, trusting the process, and having some fun with it, fellas. And that's the thing. It's not about putting pressure on yourself. It's not about putting pressure on your family, pressure on coaches. Enjoy it. I mean, this is the only time you're ever going to be recruited to play college baseball. A couple classes to do for Coach Communications 101, 201, and 301 recruiting classes that you can sign up for, just like this one. Visits, you want to get out, see schools, fellas. I do some student athletes, and they're kind of transferring now. We do help out with transfers. That they're it's just not what I thought it was going to be like. I didn't visit, or it was just completely different. Go out and see schools. Go out and see a college baseball game. See what the atmosphere is like. Drive around maybe when the student body's there to see what the school is like. Stuff along those lines. Everything is turning into official visits because you can't take official visits until your senior year. Not saying that you can't take official visits, it's just everything's sped up. We're recruiting freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. It's not just juniors and seniors anymore. So you do want to make sure that you're getting out and taking a look at schools. Coach Communications 101 is something that would be a great class for you as well. Maximizing financial aid. This is big, folks. If you're an underclassman, it's about getting your ducks in a row and making sure that you know what you can qualify for. So when things start to speed up, or later on in the process, you're not trying to do everything. You already know what you can qualify for. Expected family contribution, maybe some outside scholarships. You take a look at early financial aid reads, schools calculators. Utilize Smart Track on your profile page under NCSA University. That's huge. And then could give you some leverage about opportunities with schools and coaches. So dive into that. And like I said, I coached 10 years at D1 level. We gave out one full ride. And think about that, 27 players every year for 10 years. So that's something that the financial aid is going to be big for you fellas. So make sure you're diving in there. And a great class, which is also by me, is Scholarships 101 that you can sign up for. Sorry, I went by pretty quick. I skipped one. And then ultimately, recruiting, commitment. I put this here not to scare you guys, but freshmen are making commitments. You know, it's a philosophy I agree with, but there's coaches out there that are trying to get early commitments now. They're obviously at the higher levels, but I put on there because if you are a freshman or sophomore, I want you to think, you know what, a couple of years, I'll get the ball rolling. You know, for 99.9% of us, it's about getting bigger, faster, stronger, trusting the recruiting process, test scores, GPAs, you know, building relationships. But it's about the ground running. And you guys are signed up with NCSA. You got a great platform. I mean, it really is. So knowing that recruiting is 365, 24/7. Trust me, I lived it. That's why I don't do it anymore. So make sure you're hitting the ground running. Might just be about the educational side early on. Might be about building target lists. What are my majors? What am I interested? Where I want to go to school? Big school, small school? Talking with your family about this is how much I got set aside, or this is how much we can afford. A process rolling. Always something to do in recruiting. If you sign at the D1 or D2 level, it would be this week if you're an 18 grad. Use an NLI and then letters of intent at the NAI and junior college level. That is our recruiting team, our recruiting coaches. So definitely want to make sure that you know, memberships. You do see names that are familiar, and save the 877-845-6272 in your phones. That's our number. Recruiting help at ncsasports.org. Want to make sure that's in all your phones and tablets and computers. I do record this and do send it to you, so if you don't jot it down right now, you could definitely take a look at it later. One thing I do want to make sure that before I finish up here, we do have a feedback survey. You know, we're always looking to be the best we can here at NCSA. It's one question, some feedback. I'm putting that in the chat. You can see that hyperlink at the end, the bit.ly link. You could click on that, give us some feedback. We always take pride in that, fellas. You know, we want to make sure, you know, we're doing everything that we can for you guys and your family. So please, you know, just take a minute to do that. If you do have any questions, throw that in the chat box. You know, I've got some time set aside that we could do that. It could be questions about what we just talked about, maybe some questions that you guys always had about recruiting. You know, you got a former recruiting coordinator and associate head coach and former college athlete here. So throw those in the chat box. If you don't have any questions, hop on out. That you guys are done, and I appreciate you having appreciate you guys coming in. I hope you guys have a great evening. Finish up with that right there. Get signed up for some recruiting classes, and have a great evening. Thanks.